In a distant land, nestled in the heart of the Southern Territories, there existed a small village where an enchanting princess named Ira resided. Ira was the cherished daughter of a revered king, and her beauty was known far and wide. However, her life was not as idyllic as one might imagine. She had never once stepped beyond the confines of the grand palace, for her father, the king, had imposed a strict rule. Ira was forbidden from leaving the palace grounds, a decree shrouded in mystery and ancient traditions. The king had always been adamant that Ira must remain within the palace to avert an unspecified calamity. Despite her curiosity, Ira had no choice but to abide by her father's edict, though she yearned to experience the world beyond the palace walls. The village outside was a distant dream, a world she had only glimpsed through stories and the whispers of palace maids. The restrictions placed upon her made Ira's imagination run wild, often dreaming about the wonders and mysteries that lay beyond the palace. One fateful day, as Ira wandered the palace corridors, she overheard the maids excitedly discussing the upcoming village festival, an event renowned for its vibrant celebrations and communal joy. The allure of the festival was too tempting to resist, and Ira's longing to experience it firsthand grew insurmountable. Fueled by curiosity and defiance, she resolved to attend the festival, despite her father's warnings. Her heart was filled with a mix of fear and excitement, and she knew that this could be her only chance to see the world outside. Disguising herself as a simple palace maid, Ira slipped out of the palace unnoticed. Her heart pounded with excitement and trepidation as she followed the maids to the festival grounds. Each step she took was a step into the unknown, and the thrill of it all made her feel more alive than she had ever felt. Upon arrival, she was overwhelmed by the sheer vibrancy of the event. Laughter, music, and dancing filled the air, and Ira felt a profound sense of liberation. She joined in the festivities, her spirit soaring with joy. Amidst the merriment, Ira collided with a handsome young man, who introduced himself with a charming smile. Their conversation was abruptly cut short when the young man suddenly clutched his throat and collapsed to the ground, lifeless. Panic ensued, and the festival came to a halt. The villagers, in their fear and confusion, began to whisper of witchcraft and pointed their fingers towards the palace. The joyous atmosphere turned to one of fear and suspicion, and Ira's heart sank as she realized the gravity of the situation. News of the mysterious death reached the king, who was deeply troubled. Rumors swirled that a witch disguised as a palace maid had caused the young man's demise. The king, desperate to uncover the truth, summoned all the palace maids for interrogation. When no one confessed, he decreed that all the maids be sent into the Forest of Ancestors, a place of trial and revelation in their village. Those who returned unharmed would be deemed innocent, while those who did not return would be judged guilty. Ira, terrified and guilt-ridden, remained silent as the maids were sent into the forest. She watched with bated breath, hoping that none would suffer because of her actions. Days passed, and miraculously, all the maids returned unscathed. Ira's fear intensified as she awaited the consequences of her actions. Her father, oblivious to her involvement, called her to his throne room. There, he informed her of a significant development. It was time for her to choose a groom, a tradition that would finally allow her to leave the palace. Elated yet anxious, Ira returned to her room, dreaming of a life beyond the palace walls. Suitors from far and wide gathered to vie for her hand, eager to see the enigmatic princess. On the day of the grand unveiling, Ira was adorned in a breathtaking gown, ready to meet her potential husbands. However, as she entered the banqueting hall, a strange phenomenon occurred. Each suitor who laid eyes on her fell into a deep, unshakable slumber. The hall was filled with panic as their families carried them away. Distressed and bewildered, Ira fled to her room. The king, desperate for answers, consulted the village's chief priest, who revealed a devastating truth. Ira's disobedience had triggered a curse, binding her to the spirit of the young man she had unwittingly killed at the festival. The priest warned that unless Ira pacified the spirit, her father would die. Ira, racked with guilt and sorrow, pleaded with the spirit in her dreams. Initially, the spirit appeared hostile, but Ira's heartfelt apologies and genuine remorse eventually softened its anger. She begged for forgiveness, not just for herself, but for her father and the slumbering suitors. Moved by her sincerity, the spirit relented and lifted the curse. The following morning, Ira rushed to her father's chamber to find him miraculously recovered. Joy and relief washed over her as the dark days finally came to an end. Ira's life took a turn for the better, and she eventually married a kind prince from a distant land, living happily ever after. The tale of Princess Ira serves as a poignant reminder of the virtues of patience and the consequences of impulsive actions. It teaches us that sometimes, waiting and adhering to wisdom can prevent unnecessary calamities and bring about a more favorable outcome. To elaborate further, the days that followed the lifting of the curse were filled with celebration and relief. The entire village rejoiced, not only for the king's recovery but also for the return of normalcy. Ira's story became a legend, a cautionary tale passed down through generations, teaching the importance of obedience and the dangers of curiosity unchecked. Ira's marriage to the prince from a distant land was a grand affair. The prince, who had heard of Ira's beauty and bravery, was captivated by her spirit and strength. Their union was celebrated with grand feasts and festivities that lasted for weeks. Ira's new life was filled with adventures and explorations, as she traveled with her husband to distant lands, finally experiencing the world she had longed to see. Despite the happiness and freedom she now enjoyed, Ira never forgot the lessons she had learned. She remained humble and wise, always considering the consequences of her actions. She often visited her home village, sharing her stories and wisdom with the young girls who admired her. She taught them the value of patience and the importance of listening to those who have more experience and knowledge. Ira's father, the king, also changed. The ordeal had shown him the importance of transparency and communication. He began to explain the reasons behind his rules and decisions, ensuring that his people understood and trusted him. The bond between Ira and her father grew stronger, and they shared a mutual respect and love that was unbreakable. The young men who had fallen into slumber also awoke, free from the spirit's curse. They went on to live their lives, grateful for their second chance. The village returned to its peaceful existence, with a newfound appreciation for the mysteries and traditions that had once seemed so oppressive. Ira's story, filled with suspense, drama, and ultimate redemption, continued to be told and retold, inspiring many. It became a testament to the power of courage, the importance of seeking forgiveness, and the strength found in understanding and compassion. Her marriage to the prince brought not only joy but also new responsibilities. As a princess in her new home, Ira was beloved by her new subjects. She became an advocate for education, health, and the arts, bringing prosperity and joy to the people. She initiated many programs that helped the less fortunate, earning her the love and respect of everyone. Ira also maintained a close relationship with the villagers from her homeland. She would often send gifts and letters, keeping the bond strong. Her legacy in her homeland was preserved through the stories that were told, ensuring that her tale of caution and bravery would never be forgotten. Ira's adventures did not end with her marriage. She and the prince embarked on many journeys, exploring uncharted territories and bringing back knowledge and treasures. They were known as the adventurer royalty, and their tales of exploration were just as famous as Ira's earlier story. In the twilight of her life, Ira reflected on her journey from a confined princess to a beloved queen and adventurer. She understood that every step she had taken, every mistake, and every lesson had shaped her into the person she had become. Her story was a testament to resilience, growth, and the power of seeking forgiveness and making amends. Ira's life story was eventually written down, becoming a treasured book that was read by generations to come. The book, filled with her adventures and lessons, became a guide for young and old alike, teaching them the value of patience, wisdom, and the courage to right one's wrongs. And so, Princess Ira's legend lived on, inspiring countless hearts and minds, a beacon of light in times of doubt and darkness. The village, the palace, and the distant lands all remembered her name, not just as a princess, but as a symbol of hope, redemption, and the enduring power of the human spirit. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Your support helps our channel grow. See you in the next story. Bye.